to another episode of Knicks Morning Coffee. I'm Mr. King. Y'all know my partner, Joe Cool.
What's up? What's the word?
All right, so what we talking about today? I know one we got to, and I don't really got much to say about it because I wasn't impressed at all, the Summer League.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know how you felt about it. I don't know. I didn't see, for what I did watch, I didn't see that many bright spots. I mean, obviously guys, some of them came highly recommended. But as far as comparing it to the main roster, I didn't see, somebody. I mean, we got guys that potential if we didn't have people in those positions.
Nah, our recruitment team that go look at players from other teams is good. Our recruitment team that go get young guys is terrible.
Not really. You talking about Deuce, and it's funny about with Kills. I don't remember before the Summer League started. And they was talking about Knicks management was high on Trevor. And so I said, well, what could have possibly happened? Right. What could have happened between the end of the season and going into free agency that they felt like this guy made a big leap without playing?
I think he went from size 12 to a 13.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
No disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, I even thought our G League team was going to do, our G League team, would do better with those guys, but that's, something.
What's his name? Isaiah Roby?
Well, he said, I give him credit. He coming off injury. He ain't played in a while. He looks solid.
Yeah, he looks decent,
but the Knicks are, but in his case too, the Knicks are also, they in the market for, somebody at that position. So let's just jump down to that right quick. What we need going in now is a backup power forward, which some of the names that was put in there, like I like Christian Wood. He could play power forward and center. But our backup power forward don't get that many minutes.
Yeah, no. So
we have to be real careful on who we bringing in, and they think they're going to play a lot if you still plan on using Julius Randle that much. So what do we do with that? Like they had names like Jordy Dang, whatever his name is, Jermichael Green. Now I like him, but he mostly plays backup center, but he's a stretch four. He can shoot and he can rebound. So I always liked him. So we get a guy like him coming off our bench, I'll be happy with that. Yeah. Even for those few, but he's one of them type of guys that Tibbs will find minutes for. So it's those type of guys that the Knicks have on their radar that we could plug into that backup power forward in case of injury. Right. But whoever we get, you can't get somebody who's expecting to play a whole lot. And we know that that's not going to happen.
I mean, we were talking about it a little bit this morning. Maybe they need to start breaking up the minutes if they're going to do that tournament. Because like I said, if they take that tournament serious, then y'all going to be playing like harder games throughout the whole year.
Yeah, because some teams are going to probably feel we have a chance to win the tournament. We don't have a chance to win the finals, win the NBA finals. So that might be there. Yeah, right now I'm not for it, but just like the play-in, I wasn't for it. But now it's like one of the best things that happened to the NBA.
I like it if the players take it serious. If the players don't take it serious, that's really what we want to see. We just want to see serious basketball.
Well, it's probably money involved.
Yeah, if the money's involved, but the All-Star game money's involved. I don't know how much money, but if they're gonna take this serious, because I noticed their contracts is different. Their contracts got incentives for them to play more times out the year. I think they probably got incentives for the tournament. Like if we make the tournament,
but everybody don't get that incentive in their contract. Like you look at what we gave DiVincenzo, in his contract, he can make more if he wins the MVP. Okay, he ain't winning MVP. If he makes one of the
MVP for the
MVP for the league. If he make one of the all teams, okay, that's not gonna happen. Now one that could happen, 6 man of the year could happen, and making one of the defensive teams. Now that could happen. But MVP of the league, that's something to strive for, but that you're not getting that. That's politics anyway. So people, and that's a big incentive. I don't know. I think that was just to entice them to choose us over somebody else. But those are the type of incentives that people get. That everybody don't get incentives in their contract.
I think Draymond got incentives.
Yeah, people like that. Yeah, yeah.
Kyrie, I think, got incentives if he play a certain amount of games. So,
yeah, but that's the league that play in, and I'm not totally sure how they're gonna construct it yet. But when the time comes, if it works for the players, then I'm fine with it. But if it don't work for the players, then but like you said, if there's money, if there's good money involved, at least we know the lesser known players. My fear is that if the play-in is before the All-Star game, then veteran players may try to find a way to opt out, acting like they're hurt and not play in the All-Star game. Because who wants to put their body, like will LeBron want to put his body through that how many times? Now, he'll play in the All-Star game because he want to keep his record. He want to put that record out of reach,
I mean, I know Ice Cube, he's doing his rounds, talking about how the NBA should have teamed up. But that would have been a good idea, like coming to All-Star. Maybe it's not 5-on-5. If you're going to do a tournament that's serious, maybe it shouldn't have been 5-on-5. Maybe you could have teamed up with the Big Three and had a couple of the 3-on-3 games. That would have been, to me, more fun to watch. Like, have the camera at a certain angle. It's like park 3-on-3.
Yeah, but how would that... See, when he's saying that with the NBA should have partnership, I don't see how that works for him. Because once you put that corporate on there, then you can't run it the way you want to run it.
I'm talking about, but a partnership as in like WNBA, NBA. I don't think they the same. They two separate things, right? NCAA, two separate things. They still go play in the USA. You could have had NBA. Now you're doing these Big Three type games where they could have even paid for the sponsorship or something, some type of partnership where you had LeBron, who's like a Laker that's not playing no more. Maybe LeBron, Shaq, and somebody else playing 3-on-3.
Well, they kind of did that before.
I mean, they used to have that. But that was our favorite one when they had one WNBA, one veteran.
But but they didn't play a game. They played.
Yeah, but they could have still did that. Yeah, and still did a 3-point game, like a three. Imagine seeing Melo, Jokic, maybe on the Denver team. Melo, Jokic, maybe AI or something. I don't know. On a Denver team versus somebody on the Knicks, like, you know what I mean?
No, those would be nice, but I don't know how that fit into, if Ice Cube was, like, how does that fit into a mid-season thing? I know Ice Cube, he always wanted to be a part of with the NBA, but at the same time, he said this is something separate. I think he should just build his brand, get the right sponsorship, which he got good sponsorship, and make it more. I don't think it should be. But then now, you don't need the NBA.
To me, it's still, he don't need the NBA. The NBA don't need them, but it'll make it more of a better, like somebody like Melo, right?
Yeah.
Look, Melo, you're not coming back to the NBA. But so now your transition could have been, I'm no longer in the NBA. Y'all can see me on the Big Three. Like, you know what I mean? Your transition would have been better. So people that still want to see, because I think that style of basketball still will probably blow up if they took it serious. Like, as long as...
Well, market it. I mean, Ice Cube and whoever his partner is, because you always got to give the partner the credit. Like, we might have the vision, but that business end is somewhere else. Because I don't really think I think they need, their strategy has to be different. Like, when they was in Barclays Center, they was in Brooklyn last week. And you start hearing about it, but it's not a buzz. Yeah. Now, if you was in the Garden, it'd be a buzz.
Yeah, I think they can't. I think he's saying that the NBA is shutting down certain opportunities like that. So, like, but he can't get on like CBS and TNT. He can't market.
Well, but that's not necessarily true. The NBA would have no control over a network shelling out money for their. Again, that's your marketing strategy. You go to that network and you say you got a product that they can make. If they think they're going to make money off it, that network is going for it. Yeah, I think hands down, because the NBA is not going to partner with you. They already got their money tied into, the NBA, the G League, things like that. You know, they're not going to, how far they think the NBA going to stretch that out.
I don't think they would put money into it, but you could have did your own thing.
Yeah, Ice Cube felt like he's not part of that community, but you got to get in that.
And even then, I say it all the time, you didn't even need cable. You could have just went to YouTube and streaming services only. Yeah. They would have promoted the Big Three. If they would have said, we got NBA, NCAA, football got 2 and 3 leagues. Football ain't like the XFL, but it seems like they're doing pretty good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you could have just went straight to YouTube any kind of way. You could even did regular YouTube how we do here.
Listen, you got Dr. J coaching. You got George Gervin. I mean, you got big time NBA names. Like, put them in your marketing.
Yeah.
The TV is not going to turn down something like that. Put those guys in your marketing, along with the star players of the past, and you'll see. But when you got headlining guys like Steven Jackson, all them type of dudes that was almost damn near banned from the NBA, you're not getting all of that. So, but I think the big three, the big three should promote a little bit better. But again, going back to that backup power forward, one thing you write about, and I've been thinking about this one since the season end in Obi's case, because we're gonna miss that high flying in Obi. Every other team that has a major star that plays major minutes, their backups still get quality minutes. So I'm trying to figure out, why is that Obi only average about 11 minutes a game when every other star in the league, big name star, their backup still plays a lot. So why is that? I'm trying to figure out why we couldn't find those minutes if we had to give Julius 5 less minutes.
Because you call Tibbs a bum? No, I don't know.
but this is going back to last year too. He never got major minutes. Once in a blue, he might have finished the game because he was rolling. But that Tibbs don't do that.
I can see it's because Julius Randle did the intangibles. Remember, he was doing like the getting rebounds.
Yeah, but even with that though, every other star, their backup do get significant minutes because they steal minutes from another position. We don't let Obi steal minutes from the 5 or the 3, like moving Julius to the 5. Tibbs don't like that. But again, if you was to get a guy like Jermichael Green, who really is a power forward, really a small forward, but he plays backup center. He's same height as them. But he has that mentality, and he's a stretch. So yeah, Obi, we could have got more out of Obi, because there was this other thing in a trade where, with the Phoenix Suns and the Pacers, another trade that got stalled, that we would have got Cameron Payne, who's a backup point guard, and we would have sent out Fournier and picks. Now that, unless you're just really getting under how much Fournier got left in his contract, that don't make sense unless you're just really getting out from under that contract. Cameron Payne is a backup that we could use, but then what happens to Deuce, and like, we already crowded. Yeah. So our move's still gonna be made. Who knows? So I think the Knicks they juggling, but to me, I don't know if you're juggling under the right tree. Yeah. Fill your needs and then let's go. It's getting too late now. If you're gonna make a major move, you should have made it. Like, if you're gonna stick with your team because you're tweaking it, then just stick with your team. But decisions do have to be made. Another interesting thing is, well, before we get to that, the Julius Randle saga.
Mo Bamba not on the team yet?
I think did the Lakers sign him?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, but I don't want Mo Bamba. What we gonna do with Mo? Yeah. I mean, what you gonna do with him? I mean, for the way he played, that what he gonna do that Hartenstein is not doing.
Yeah, true.
So it's nice to have them young legs to bring a guy home.
What's his name? No, I want him.
Who?
The other one that was on Orlando. Damn, what's his name? That dude, he played like Victor. Bobo? Yeah. Yeah, I like Bobo too, but again, what you gonna do with him? Yeah, I love to have Bobo, but yeah, you get him, I'm happy. I ain't gonna lie. You get Bobo. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what the Knicks gonna do with him. Bobo Hartenstein to me in trouble. Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he's good.
Maybe Hartenstein could take that 5 minutes, them power forward minutes. We get Bobo. Yeah,
because Tibbs, he likes Hartenstein, but at the same time, he don't play him the way he's capable of playing. So somebody could come in probably and give him a fight.
I would have went to Hartenstein and said, "Can you do what Jokic can do?" All right, bet.
Yeah, plus Bobo could shoot. But they said, the Knicks are saying with Julius Randle, they'll trade him, but it's got to be a MB type player. So now you done already set the market for Julius, and if it don't do nothing else, it should even enhance his confidence more to say that, okay, they ain't trading me unless they get a. So the chances of now you getting a type player like that, because too many pieces are starting to move. And some people who picked up some of these free agents probably can't move them until early December. So now that piece on the board to me is off the table for that big name play unless you just do something drastic. If you really wanted Cat, which you also told that the Knicks pulled out of that deal for Cat because it wasn't right. So we don't know everything that Leon Rose and them is doing behind the scenes, but the news that's getting out is not weighing, moving the needle for next year.
I was on Threads and I hit Cat up and I said, just demand a trade like Damian Lillard.
Yeah, but it's still demand a trade. Who gonna get
like?
you?
I won't go to the Knicks. That's it. To see what happens.
The Knicks gotta be willing to part with some stuff too, though. You know, because Kaz ain't letting you walk out the door. Like, they're gonna accommodate Dame if they can, but if they said if they can't, Dame gotta come back. But Dame should have did that right before free agency started, right before July 1st. You know, when the pickings was good. Can't wait till a lot of the names are off the board. Like, what if, like with Kyrie, what if Dallas would have tried to make that deal and get Kyrie to sign and go? Will Kyrie go? Who knows? But once he's signed, you ship him out.
Yeah.
So it's things that could have been. Well, you don't need no big star. If you're gonna build around that young kid, you ain't getting no other big star. But I'm saying, like, these players that demand, his timing was off. His timing was off. You couldn't wait to see what was gonna happen. You know nothing was gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he should have he should have said he would go to the Knicks. I think they'll get a lot more better pieces coming to the Knicks, even for them to take Fournier.
Yeah, but Hero, if they'd have made that deal with Miami, Hero would fit in Portland. Because Portland, for Dame, they got to feel like it's a win. But
y'all bugging. Hero good. He ain't that damn.
He ain't that. I'm talking about fit. I'm talking about what they fit. Right. They got a young team that they building. But, you know, Julius, obviously he's safe. Because I don't see no big thing coming down the pipeline. And then fine, we running it back with Julius. But as long as we have more steady pieces around him, because he didn't flame out really total performance-wise. Some injuries. But everybody's got to have their game step up in the playoffs, not just one or two people.
And now that I see all those clips over and over and over, I wish we could have got Paul George now. Like, usually, remember I said I ain't want him. Yeah. I felt like he's a pacer, and I ain't like him. But the fact that he give us respect, Wilson, I feel like he would fit.
I'd take him.
Yeah, I feel like he could have talked to Randall a little bit better.
Yeah.
Randall probably would have submitted to Paul George because, you know, Paul George can do certain things.
Yeah, but all these things even with the Knicks. You knew you was getting rid of Obi. Okay, maybe they say they don't want to part with RJ.
And they said they wanted not the Pacers, the Clippers wanted Obi. So why didn't you just give it to him then? If he was in their first trade.
Yeah. Yeah, see.
They wanted a whole lot of picks. But you could have said no to the picks and threw in somebody else. I would have kind of been okay if you would have just threw in quickly because we got too many guards anyway. All them guards is not going to be able to play. Maybe that was the problem too. Like, all of them not playing.
Well, I think RJ was in that too with the Clippers.
Chenzo going to play, is he going to play backup 1 or backup 2? Because then where Hart going to go? Because Hart kind of be playing backup 2.
Well, you hear what the saying now is that people feel that there's going to be a shooting guard position battle now that we got him.
That's what I'm saying.
So now it's going to be, I guess the fight would be him and Grimes at shooting guard. Who's going to fight for that spot? Who going to, DiVincenzo do a whole lot of things that we expect Grimes to do. You still got IQ to come off the bench. And then you still got Hart, who will fluctuate between the 2 and the 3. Because sometimes you play Hart and RJ together. So somebody's out there. So Deuce probably already know, especially once you got DiVincenzo, Deuce probably know he's on the bench. Right? He probably already know that. Unless somebody else got moved.
What I like about Deuce is no matter how long he's on the bench, when you put him in there, he do what he's supposed to do. That's what I like about Deuce. That's why I feel like you probably just can't get rid of him. Because for somebody like that just play at a high level, every time, know the system, whatever you running, you gotta keep him.
You gotta keep him, but how much just you gonna keep doing to this guy, even though he's getting paid, and I'm sure you're gonna get a little bit more.
Not every player go to another team and have a role.
Oh no, of course.
Some players go to other teams for more money and they still don't play.
Yeah. No, but there's a role. Deuce will have a role somewhere. if he was to leave. But no, I want to keep him. But I mean, like, he probably already knows that he ain't in that conversation. No matter what Tibbs and them say, everybody fighting. No. If you got DiVincenzo, you got IQ, you got Grimes, you got RJ. somebody ain't playing. So DiVincenzo to me would be more of the backup too, if he don't outseat Grimes.
Yeah, he probably is.
You know, as far as consistency, his skill set, defense, shooting, driving, hard nose. Grimes looks better if he's gonna be the shooter, but DiVincenzo looks better if we playing rugged. You know,
I think DiVincenzo
he's gonna find his way to be in every play.
He's definitely playing a lot of minutes.
Well, Tibbs will fall in love with him. We know that for sure.
They're definitely gonna have him, all three of them, on the court at the same time.
Yeah, he's gonna do that. You know,
Guaranteed.
but I would have liked. And I know I'm gonna fall in love more with DiVincenzo, but I would have liked if we had put that effort into Bridges. We still can, but now you starting to look at, because this is another thing when Hart put out there for us to go out and get Bridges, like, you better be careful that you ain't thrown in that. Like, you better be careful. Like,
I think the whole purpose of that is to have Hart on there.
Well, they're gonna want something. Like, they're gonna want something. So can RJ be enticed?
I mean,
RJ's our only last.
That's what I'm saying. That's who I would have switched him for. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, because we basically took Mitch off the market. So
RJ probably have a better time over there anyway.
You'll have more freedom probably as far as them playing around him because of the way they play. But we don't have that many more assets that we're willing to part. If we're not going to part with RJ, who could have been in the Clippers deal, we're not going to part with IQ, who could have been in several deals, right? If you're not going to part with Mitch, now these ain't people we want to part with, who teams inquired about, but the Knicks shut down. So who would say for Brooklyn, we'll give you him. What you giving us? We don't want your picks. We got enough picks. We need a player, but we need a player that's going to disrupt your offense because they don't want to see the Knicks do good. So the Knicks got to make a decision on those positions. And to me, this should be made going into training camp. And then you also got to look at who's going to be available before training camp. Because there's still some good names out there, but in the backcourt, where are we going? Where are we going in the backcourt? And all that hope of, there was this article, and I did save it, but I let it go. Of next year, like structuring our deals for next year for Donovan Mitchell. Like, come on now, we gotta let that shit pass. We gotta let it go. We had a chance to get him, we didn't do it. Let it go, right? Like, the way our team is structured, where's Donovan Mitchell gonna help without taking away from somebody else?
Right.
And he disappears in games. We've seen that. So we don't need another superstar that disappear in games. So we have to let that shit go and move on. But as far as overall, looking at next year, the light, it doesn't look as bright as it did to me going into the season. But we know the Knicks are going to play hard and they're going to play steady. So that means we'll be in every type of a game. But that, as far as that consistent score, besides Julius, we know Brunson gets his. Who's going to be that other real consistent go-to scorer? Now, we got guys that's capable of scoring, but we need that other third, because RJ, his 20 points, they're not real 20 points to me.
Yeah, I'm starting to get how these teams structure their teams. I think the Knicks at this point, we just want to see somebody that's must-see basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you think of Ja Morant, Zion, like these two that's having issues, but when they on the court, it's must-see. Yeah. RJ is not really so much must-see basketball. Yeah. Like as much as we want him to be.
Well, like you said, he got to go get in some trouble. But I'm glad he's on that. I'm glad he's on that Canadian team this summer. Yeah. Playing with them guys, but he's gonna be overshadowed on that team with the guards they got on that team. Right. So either way, RJ, if you can get something for him.
Sometimes some coaches and some players know what you can do better than the coaches that you already have. So sometimes, I remember like 2 years ago, he was on some team killing, and they was like, why he don't do that on the Knicks? We thought he was going to come back and do it on the Knicks, and he didn't, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could have struck while the iron was hot with him.
Same thing. Frank Ntilikina go to France and start killing, and then get on the Knicks, and we like, damn, there's baby Antetokounmpo over there. What's what happened?
I understand that. That whole philosophy, I don't get. Yeah, but so the Knicks, it's up in the air what the Knicks gonna be when the season starts, because we still don't know if there's a blockbuster out there. Because Zion, all that talk is still floating around. Something might be done because we're holding on to these pieces. If we're not holding on to these pieces, telling these players you're not going anywhere, that means then something might be up. What it is, I don't know. If you think put it in the comments. But we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. We still got a lot of summer left, and a lot of trades that could be made.
They called me, so y'all might mess up my game.
All right, then we back to the G League again. All right, so until next time, peace.
Peace.